Hello YouTube, it's Rom from Ramen Noodles TCG, and today I have a Fiendsmith Live Twin deck profile for you. So I've been really enjoying this deck a lot recently. I've been playing it on and off for about maybe a month and a half. This deck is probably my favorite Fiendsmith variant. The synergy is just really clean between the two archetypes, and things just flow together super well. This is probably one of the most underrated control decks of the format, and I would like to share my build with you. So starting off with the Live Twins, I am playing 3 copies of Live Twin Kiss-a-Kill, 3 copies of Live Twin Kiss-a-Kill Frost. For the Lila ratios, I am playing 2 Lila, and the 1 Lila Sweet, and 3 Sunny Snitch. So I've seen a few people play less than 3 Kiss-a-Kill. I don't quite understand why. This card is the best starter in the deck. Frost is not only an extender, but now thanks to the fact that we have a Link 1, this is also a starter, so that's why we're maxing out on this. Obviously, we don't need as many Lila monsters, but I am still opting for 3. We need the 1 Sweet. We need to play at least 1 Sweet. Some people like multiple. I was playing the Mirror today, and my opponent told me after the match that he was on 3 Sweets. I don't know. It does have a protection effect that makes this a pseudo called by. This was pretty cool, but I don't find myself using this all that often. So I would not play multiple Sweets. This deck's starters are already fairly resilient to negation, so I don't think I'd bump this up. I like having the second copy of the original Lila. After going through turn 1, I think it's pretty good to have another Lila to summon from the deck in the grind game, because you go through the first Lila off of the Kiss-a-Kill, and then you send Sweet. So I want to have another Lila in deck. So rounding out our twins, the 3 Sunny Snitch. This is just tanky, very good card. Not only does it get you your extenders or your starters, but yeah, it also does burn damage. It's a funny little card here. Yeah, none of the other Live Twin back row are worth playing, so I don't feel the need to play Secret Password to search any of them because they're not good. I'm very comfortable playing 3 of this because this deck does not lose the draw, at all. This deck plays very well into draw, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Moving on to the Fiendsmiths, I am playing 3 Engraver, 2 Tract, Lacrima, Lurry, and Paradise. So I think 2 Tract is really the only thing that I have to talk about. So some Fiendsmith variants, like 1 Tract, 1 Sanct. I don't think Sanct is very good in this deck because it kind of conflicts with the Live Twins. Sanct is usually the first thing you want to summon, because then you'd have to finagle your board to get only Light Fiends, which is really not great. Yeah, I like having 2 tracks just to have more extension. This deck is a little bit normal summon reliant, so having a sizable amount of Fiendsmith extenders is pretty good. Yeah. Moving on to the hand traps, I am playing 17 hand traps in this 41 card main deck. So this is very much a hand trap control strategy. We draw a lot of cards off of the Evil Twin and Live Twin effects, as well as Necro Princess. So we are able to draw into hand traps. So the board isn't super high ceiling. There's not a lot of interruptions on the board, but we draw a lot of cards, so we want to draw into the hand traps. So that's why we're playing a lot of them. So for the hand trap lineup, I have 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 3 copies of Effect Veiler, 3 copies of Droll, 3 copies of Fuwalos, 2 Perulia, 2 Ghost Bell, and the 1 Nibiru. So, starting off, I think Ash and Droll are pretty self-explanatory. This deck has a very big Mulcharmy problem, specifically Fuwalos. So we need these guys to stop Fua, as well as just be interruption for our opponent. Droll is very good against Mitsu and Ryzeal and Mitsu Ryzeal. Just a very good card this format. And Ash is extremely flexible, which I like. Speaking of flexibility, we are playing the 3 Effect Veilers. This is the pinnacle of versatility. So I was playing Imperm in this deck for a while. I was like playing a 2-2 split of Imperm and Veiler. I just took it out just to play 3 Veiler. Imperm felt a little weird because, remember, we're drawing on our opponent's turn, so we want to draw into live hand traps that we can use, and just having Veiler just being not once per turn and just being a live hand trap we can use is just pretty good. It supplements the rest of the hand trap lineup to just add a bit of negation to pair with the other hand traps that are a bit more high impact. Because Veiler isn't the most high impact, but it's pretty serviceable. Fuwalos is really broken in this deck. So the Live Twin Trouble Sunny tributes themselves for cost. So if you go for a Desiree line, you can set it up so that Trouble Sunny is the only thing on your board. So you can actually draw off of Fuwalos even going first, because you can chain link 1 Trouble Sunny, chain link 2 Fuwalos. So now your opponent has to play under Fua going second. Yeah, this card is ridiculous. Why do they print this? I'm playing 2 Perulia. Perulia is just pretty good. It's good against Mitsu. It's good against Ryzeal, and it's pretty solid overall. I don't feel super bad about playing like 5 Mulcharmies plus the Drolls in the main. It feels like they might conflict, or at least that's what I thought. But playing Perulia, you actually get your refund in card advantage a lot of the time when you combine it with Droll. Like your opponent usually gives you the draw before they have the opportunity to play into Droll. So yeah, the Fuas conflict with Droll a little more, but again, when your opponent Fuas you, you need to sometimes Droll yourself, so Droll has that extra utility, so it's less of a confliction. Rounding out the hand trap lineup, the Bells and the Nib. So Nib isn't that great this format, it's pretty polarizing, but when it works, and when your opponent, like in the matchups it works, like against Malice, for example, against all the Fiendsmith decks, and like sometimes if you're hitting a Ryzeal player really hard with the hand traps, they can still keep extending because that deck is ridiculous, but they won't be able to play through Nib. So that's why we're playing the 1 Nib in the main, to draw it off of the Mulcharmies. I have more in this side. So Bell, I think, is a really nice way to round out the hand trap lineup. It's not super high impact, except maybe like hitting a GWC, that's pretty high impact. Other than that, though, like Mitsu can chain block, so it's to play around this, so it's otherwise just like a 1-for-1. It also ensures your other hand traps go through, because Called by the Grave is really broken. Yeah. It made sense there. It hits like the whole metagame to a reasonable degree, which is why I'm playing it. Moving on to some power spells to round out the main deck. I am playing 2 copies of Forbidden Droplet, Triple Tactics Talent, and Called by the Grave. So Droplet is something that might not be as expected in this deck, but I think Droplet synergizes with the Live Twins really well. You can send Sunny Snitches that you've already used, and if you're trying to go second, and you normal a twin effect to summon a twin, your opponent tries to interact with you, you can chain Droplet sending the twin. On res, the other twin will trigger because you sent the first twin away. So it's just like a bit of free Droplet value there. And we have so much card advantage that like Droplet discards are not a big deal. This deck is really like card efficient. So yeah, I think Droplet's pretty good there. Talent and Called By are just really broken cards. Talent is good going first and second. Called By is a lot better than going first than going second. I originally had Called By the Grave in the side deck, but as I was editing my side deck, I just sort of ran out of space, so I moved Called By into the main. Yeah, so this is the 41 card main deck. Let's move on to the extra. Starting off with the twin links, we have one each of Kiss a Kill Deal, one Kiss a Kill, one Lilla, one Trouble Sunny. So we only need one of these, one of each. We can recycle them fairly easily, as I'll talk about later. All of these except Lilla are light fiends, which makes Fiendsmith combos really easy, which is quite nice, just being able to shuffle these back for Engraver and for Sequence. Very, very good. Deal reads like a Reddit custom card, genuinely. Sending Sweet for cost, and then just drawing you cards every time your opponent tries to interact with you is ridiculous. Yeah, this card's crazy. We have A-Bow. It's just like another link for, this is like the boss of the deck. Essentially, when you climb up into Trouble Sunny, you'll go Trouble Sunny, summon these two, and then you'll link into A-Bow, and you can A-Bow bring back the Trouble Sunny. That's like a standard play you can make here. Moving on to the Fiendsmiths, I'm playing the one Requiem, the Sequence, the Agnum Day, the Desiree, Necroquip Princess, and High Caesar. So obviously, this is a pretty standard Fiendsmith lineup. You need Necroquip to make Caesar a lot of the time. Agnum Day is like loopable with Lacrima. Yeah, just like general Fiendsmith things. You may notice that this deck does not play Moon of the Closed Heaven. That's one of the things I like about this deck, actually, is that it doesn't need Moon of the Closed Heaven to function. We just have archetypal Light Fiends, which is really good. Those 10 monsters, or those 11 monsters I just showed you are basically mandatory. Now we're getting into some flex spots here that are kind of flex spots. I personally think this next one is mandatory. Muckraker of the Underworld. This helps your grind game a lot because you can revive Trouble Sunny, and you can like revive your Fiendsmith stuff. Just like for turn 3 scenarios, Muckraker is a godsend. If you get hit with Nibiru or you enter a fairly long grind game, I like summoning the Duke of Demise off of Sequence. So not only can you shuffle back any fiends, which is really good, you can link this off after like using the extra normal or whatever, and you can add back Engraver with the Duke's effects to get yourself tracked if you haven't used it already this turn, which is very, very, very strong. Yeah, Duke is crazy. So SP Little Knight comes up sometimes. This is probably like, if you wanted to cut something, this is probably the card I would cut. There's a bunch of different options that I'll talk about in a little bit. So for the 15th extra deck slot, I am playing Mannequin Cat. Now, if you saw the Twinsmith 10-minute testing, I was yapping about this card in the comment section. This card is crazy in this deck. So the #1 weakness of this deck is Fualas. So if you get hit with Fuwalos, you can essentially just pass on Mannequin Cat, and then summon a broken side deck card of your choice that is appropriate for the matchup that should just win you the game if it resolves. So yeah, I like this card a lot as a nice like backup plan. So yeah, this is very, very cool. I'll talk about the targets when I get to the side deck. But yeah, some other options include Chaos Angel. I don't think you need Chaos Angel, to be perfectly honest with you. I've seen some people play the Unchained stuff in this. I don't like that either. You can also play Typhon. Typhon is okay in this deck, but it's not amazing because you can't play that much on your opponent's turn without having already made a fair bit of plays. So yeah, it just feels like a little bit of an unnecessary panic button that just won't come up, but it could. Yeah, I like Mannequin Cat better than those options, though. I don't think Chaos Angel would come up, to be honest. Moving on to the side deck. For the Mannequin Cat targets, I am playing Thunder King Ryo, Chaos Hunter, and Kawaki Mirror Doom. Now, Thunder King Ryo is for Ryzeal. It is a light thunder, meaning that you can target your opponent's fire, thunders, or light pyros and summon Ryo from deck. This will stop them from searching. And you can negate one of their Xyz summons, which is very, very strong. Obviously, Chaos Hunter hoses Malice. It's also good against Orcust, I suppose. Yeah, these are like the normal people Mannequin Cat targets. Now, Fuwalos specifically is a big headache. So I'm playing Kawaki Miru Doom to summon the Fua from her opponent's graveyard, and then summon this. This is really cheesy, but essentially it just like your opponent can't activate light or dark monsters in the main phase, so they'd have to either punch over this in the battle phase or either play in the draw phase, which not a lot of decks can do. Mitsu can make some plays in the draw phase, but other than that, decks will struggle to out this. So that's why I'm playing it. Very good card. Shout out to my grandma for keeping my childhood collection safe and secure at her house. This card was like right where I left it in a shoebox, and I was able to dig it out and put it in my side deck. So yeah, thanks, Grandma. Moving on to some more traditional side deck cards, I am playing 3 copies of Artifact Lancia. This is for Malice and Orcust. Yeah, this is just like broken side deck card Go Bear. I'm also playing some backer removal, Lightning Storm and Duster. This is mostly for Ryzeal, but backer decks as well. Just very, very good. These guys went pretty crazy against Eldritch today. Yeah, don't ask. I am playing Bestials. This is for Fiendsmith and Orcust. Speaking of beating Fiendsmith, I'm playing Meowls and Nibiru as well. Side deck space is really tight. Like, I don't have space for a third Meowls. Yeah. This is for Malice and the Fiendsmith variants. Like, you won't wanna keep trolling against Malice or really Perulia. So you can take them out for Meowls and Nib and the Lancias. Very, very good. So yeah, that is today's deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I would really appreciate a like, and consider subscribing to the channel for more awesome Yu-Gi-Oh content. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.